So let me introduce you to StormSmart. StormSmart's been protecting Florida homes since 1996 and has grown into one of the largest manufacturers and installers of hurricane protection products in the state. Since 2021, they have doubled revenue on their way to $200 million, all while maintaining a strong focus on customer trust and operational excellence. To support that growth, StormSmart replaced their legacy homegrown system with Acumatica as their system of intelligence, enabling visibility, automation, and scale across the business. So please join me in welcoming from StormSmart, Brian Castle and Jennifer Palacio, from Strategies Group, Daniel Collins, and from Acumatica, Sarah Spangler.
Thanks, Jen. Brian, Jennifer, and Daniel, thanks so much for being here with us today. Brian, will you get us started by talking a little bit about what exactly does it mean to provide hurricane protection for the people of Florida?
Yes, absolutely. So as Sandcat mentioned, we've been around since 1996, so almost 30 years. We've done over 100,000 installations in Florida, protecting families and homes. And I think for us, what really hit home about StormSmart is our ability to protect families. It's not just the products that we produce, it's not the products that we manufacture or install, but it's how we protect the families and their safe environment.
That's really important work. Let's talk about your Acumatica journey.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what operational pressures StormSmart was experiencing that indicated your legacy systems just were no longer sustainable?
Yeah, so when I came on in 2021, we realized very quickly that in order for us to scale this operation, we needed to build a strong foundation. Mm-hmm. And a lot of our systems weren't talking to each other. There wasn't automation, we were doing a lot of manual effort, and it really became a drain on the organization. So with our VAR, we looked at Acumatica and said, here's a system that's fully integrated. We're using different modules within Acumatica, and it's allowed us to really scale from now we started with 2 branches, and now we're up to 7 branches. We have over 430 employees, and now we're covering most of the coast of Florida.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. It sounds like you're building your own system of intelligence to extract data, make it actionable, and drive performance.
Absolutely.
Jennifer, ERP implementations and user adoption often go hand in hand. What did StormSmart do differently to set the project up for success and bring the organization along?
So we were very intentional about how we approach this. As Brian said, we had a lot of manual processes, so we needed to look at our manual processes and we need to figure out how to fix them a little, let's be honest, and how to also bring them into our system without bringing everything from our old system. So it's about change, it's about the way that you enhance your system. So not only did we do that, but we knew that the adoption of our end users were really important. So we have, as Brian said, 430 employees. It was important for us to look at it and say, okay, we need user champions. It cannot just be the IT department. It cannot just be leadership. You really need the people, boots on the ground, to understand that the system needed to be simple, easy to use, and that we needed to have that adoption as we push through the company for success. The other part is we have about 75% of our users currently today using Acumatica, and when we go live with manufacturing on February 1st, yes, I know it's like coming very soon, guys. When we go live with that, we will have 90% of our users in the system.
That's amazing.
I think it's important also.
Yes, it deserves a clap.
I think it's also important to not overlook the user champion aspect of this and the change management that is necessary in implementing a new ERP, because we want the employees to have the buy-in, we want them to be involved in the process so that they understand that this is not just a replacement of their job, this is to make it more efficient, more productive, and I think Jen has done a nice job of being the champion for those user champions and helping usher them through the process.
Sounds like everyone should be thinking about who they're going to delegate as user champions during the process.
Absolutely.
Daniel, can you talk a little bit about, from the partner perspective, what do you think made StormSmart successful, and what takeaways should the audience be looking out for?
Yeah, so one thing, or a couple things that y'all did super well. You prepared. when you were coming into this and when you're going to anything working with us. So you came with your current processes, you came with data, you came with decisions. That's super important when you work together. You partnered with us very well. So when we worked together, you brought the business acumen from StormSmart and you paired it with our expertise of Acumatica, and we worked as a cohesive unit. We tackled the project together. And the last one was discipline. And so a lot of people approach the go live as a finish line. And you gotta have the discipline to know that you're gonna continue to improve. So Brian, you mentioned y'all went from 2 to 7 branches. Every time you add a new line of business, you gotta expand on what you do. And you need to change your system, you need to modify. And y'all have done an excellent job of that, and then rolling it out through the whole team so that you can have the actionable data to hold your team accountable. And I think y'all have done those things super well, and you're also great to partner with. So kudos to y'all.
If I could add, though, I think having a very strong VAR who was able to sit there and walk us through the process made it easy for us to differentiate in our selection of Acumatica, because most of the other options that we looked at had very siloed approaches. And so for us, when we met with Daniel and his team, they were able to walk us through the process, and it was seamless. I didn't have to go to different individual experts within the different modules.
Wonderful. So what I'm hearing is preparation, partnership, and discipline as key factors to a successful implementation.
Absolutely.
That's great. Jennifer, StormSmart has leaned heavily into automation. Can you talk about a few examples that have fundamentally changed how your business operates?
Of course, Sarah. So automation obviously is what we all want. Let's be honest, right? We want to move faster. We want to make things easy. We want to be simple. And we really don't want bad data. I mean, that's the reality of it. So the more that we can automate and do things in faster clicks in our system, the better data and data integrity we can have for the company as a whole. So we have been very instrumental also in trying to make sure that our automations are fast, easy clicks. People don't really know. I like to call it magic. It's really automation. But we've been doing that along the way. And we were able to do that through business events. Famous word, I always say automation equals business events. And we've been able to do that working closely with our VAR.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think we've done most of this without actual code, right? The integrations y'all have are expansive, and you've got code there, obviously, but when you start in Acumatica and push through the process, there are multiple elements that they're accomplishing without any code in the system at all, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I forgot that we have about 800 jobs, so our process is very fast, 800 jobs a month. Okay, so when you think about that, you have to do fast process from start to stop, and you have to make sure that everything flows through. And we use multiple modules, and to the people in the field and our field workers, they don't know. They just know they have what they need at their fingertips. They're able to collect invoice payments right in the field. They're able to help serve our customers and move across that fast journey.
Well, we certainly like to think of Acumatica as magic, so we appreciate you saying so as well. Brian, as CFO of StormSmart, can you speak to how Acumatica is delivering value for you and your owners now that it's fully embedded in your day-to-day operations?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for us, the private equity firm that owns us, for the leadership team, it's no longer guessing about the numbers and having debates about whose numbers are right. We now have one version of the truth. And we're able to use that to be able to scale our operations. In no way would we have been able to grow from 2 branches to 7 branches. No way would we have been able to launch new products. So last spring, we launched FloodSmart. This coming spring, we're getting ready to launch Impact garage doors. We would not have been able to do that if we didn't have one system of truth. And as we launch our new dealer network that's going across the United States, those things would not have been possible if we had not put in Acumatica. When we started this journey, 3.5 years ago? 2.5 years ago? So it's been quite a journey, but it's been very helpful in creating that efficiency, productivity, and our investors really appreciate that.
It's great that Acumatica is helping you and your PE firm reach your financial goals.
Absolutely.
So Brian and Jennifer, what advice do you have for your peers out here in the audience who may be getting ready to embark on a similar ERP journey?
Okay, listen, you guys really have to take this one in, I promise. Do not bring bad data into your new ERP. It is so critical that you tell everybody change is good and your new system is not your old system and start fresh. That's my most important advice.
If I can add to that, so I like things to get done quick. Jennifer likes to say that I have an easy button, but I would encourage you not to rush. I would take your time, have your processes documented. I think it's so important to launch it. It's not going to be perfect out of the gate. You continue to make enhancements, you continue to innovate, you continue to make progress within the system, but don't rush. And I would say most important for me, what's been very critical to this is having a project manager who has the tenacity to herd cats, to make sure that we have our processes documented, to continue to push forward, because that's what you have to do. And our employees get behind it and they continue to evolve, and now they're coming to us with ideas. And it's no longer us saying, here's what you have to go do.
That's awesome. What I'm hearing is change is good, no bad data, make sure you have someone who can herd cats.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Perfect, got it. Brian, Jennifer, and Daniel, thank you very much for being here today and sharing about your Acumatica journey. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Brian and Jennifer, can you come over just for just a moment, please? Look, I love this story, the growth. I love hearing about user champions. 90% of the company, you can see the impact of great people and the modern technology. I love that. Every year, we recognize one customer as our customer of the year based on their use of the product, the success they're driving, and their contribution to the community. And this year, I'm very happy to announce that StormSmart is our Acumatica Customer of the Year. Congratulations. That was really good. That was really good. Very good job.